Okay, welcome back. So, yes, Morocco just declared war on us. So, us getting all excited about improving our trade situation, which, if you're playing Portugal, that's how you make your money, is through trade. And one of the things that I'm thinking I need to do is after we finish this military set of ideas, we do need to take this trade one. The extra merchants are going to be super helpful. And then, of course, global trade power plus 20%, huge. Um, Huge, right? Trade steering plus 25%. See that? That is going to help us with steering the money, which is what we're doing. And then, of course, caravan power, not as important. But when you do the whole thing, you're getting 3 merchants, which will let us put merchants at all the places, which will allow us to steer. And we haven't even taken economic ideas yet, which just makes you more money. So trade ideas is very good. In fact, it's what I want probably more than anything right now, um, is to take that. The diplomatic ideas, I'm not even using the diplomats I have. That is not true in other games. In other games, I'm using my diplomats all the time. So I apologize if I'm making it look like they're not that important. They're extremely important. I just don't do it that much with Portugal. Um, but with that being said, now that some things have cooled off, you can see here that France is minus 1,000 because we're at war. But you can see there that the trust is getting a little bit better. Our army strength is super low compared to theirs, so that's why they don't like us. But we want to improve our relation with them, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Same with England. Um, England, we have a better chance of actually getting an alliance with. And then maybe um, it might be better to get an alliance with Eric. The problem is we have them as a rival, so that didn't help us. Austria is usually a superpower, but right now they're not. But I'm going to go ahead and improve with them as well. Um, you could try the Ottomans, but because they're Muslim and you're not going to get much of a bonus. And look at this: 26,000 men trying to take this. I think we're going to lose this province. This province is, I've held on to this probably longer in this game than I have in any other game. But the moment we lose this province, we no longer have Morocco as a problem anymore. Um, what's it doing? It's doing absolutely nothing for us power wise, and as you can tell, I didn't invest anything into it. I do have this edict here, but beyond that, there's not much uh, really to talk about there. I did want to come back here because I believe, oh, we don't have this one cored yet, but once we get all 3 of these islands, we'll be able to improve on that. Okay, so what do I do about Morocco? Well, what I could do is I could just give them this province, and then that's one less fort I have to pay for as well. Um, so the siege is over. I won a battle actually, but um, so I'm gonna. Oh, I have no diplomats to send. That's because I'm a derp derp. So let's bring back the one that's in France. All right. So I know you might be thinking, well, why don't you try to do something? I don't know if you saw that, but they have like a stack of 40,000, and they're sending 9 that's coming across to attack me right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to offer that, and they're still. Why is it saying to tell? Okay, they're still not calling that a win. Look at that. They're not taking it. And it's largely because the war hasn't gone on very long. That's fine. So our morale's going up. I'm gonna get another cannon going because that's good, and another infantry. And you can see they're coming up to start attacking us. Um, I don't know where those troops were being produced. There's one here and one there. So I'm gonna go ahead and let the production of these troops finish before I go down to attack them. Oh. All right. So we have our crappy 1-star general, but you can see right here, these are troops that are coming around our way, and we're going to go ahead and try to take them out first. But they have a 2-star general, so we're in trouble. And of course we lost. And we lost all of our army. Everything. So we're going to lose everything. Just like that. I don't know why they took stuff so easily. We weren't mothballed on our forts. I mean, they just came in and took whatever they wanted. So now they're offering a peace treaty. So we're going to cede Ceuta, give up all claims in Morocco, and then 10% of our income, and then pay 825. That is a huge amount of money, but there's nothing I can do. So we just lost all claims in Morocco. They wiped us out thoroughly. So, yeah, we just got rumple stomped. And the fact that, I mean, the 825 hurts. That there is painful. But the part that was the most painful, well, no, that is the most painful. But I knew I was going to have to cede that. It just, I mean, you saw how easily we lost everything. And I don't need to lower my army morale because I don't even have an army. And here you can see all the loans that just popped in. And we can enact government reforms. Let's see what's next. Minimum autonomy in territories drops. This is good, even in our own local area, because you see those, like the burghers, the clergy, and nobility, they're causing autonomy to be raised. So that would reduce their autonomy, which increases our tax revenue. And we're getting about $10.54 in taxes. It might make the taxes go up as high as 11 or 12 bucks. It's hard to say without doing some serious math. But as you can see, our trade income is really where the big income's for us. But that's what that would do for us. The lower autonomy, and here I'll show you real quick. This is managed by the nobility, and it says minimum province autonomy is 25%. So you got this 25% here, and that lowers your, oh, it actually lowers our trade power by 12.5%, and our taxes by 25%. So it's affecting everything. It's affecting manpower, production efficiency. So when I say to you that this is going to help us, oh, it's in territories. That's not provinces, that's territories. That's not as good. And a number of states plus 5. We already have a lot of states. Hmm. I think because that says territories, that's not going to help. I don't think this is considered a territory. That means that's not very good at all. Unless I'm over, like maybe territory really means everything. That's a good question. Adding plus 5 states is always awesome, especially as you grow as an empire. I just don't need 5 states right now, but I will later in the game possibly, and getting 5 more is perfect. But if this did what I thought it was going to do initially, I would have taken this one. Well, you know what? Let's try it and just see what it does. So now I'm going to click on this, and minimum province autonomy is 25%. It didn't do anything for us. All right, that hurt. And so now if I want to take the other one, I have to take 10 corruption. I'll go ahead and do it, but All right, so I'm going to go ahead and mothball my forts, all 2 of them. And we should be making really good money here. $9. And it's the war reparations. I'm losing $3 in war reparations because of those jerks. Okay, so we just got another province, and we can take the whole South Africa loop here. Yeah, why not? Because this trade node, we actually are competing against other people here, but we're getting 86 cents local, 259's coming in, 346 is going out. We're definitely doing damage there. Malacca made claims against us. We got some tobacco. England likes us. Let's go back to having France. Improve relation with France. And how much do I need to repay loans? A crap ton of money. So let's keep saving. So gain sailors for lost money. I don't want to gain sailors. Not interested. Oh, these 3 guys here, they need an explorer. So let's send them on an explorer mission. Our ships were sitting out here in the water because they got expelled. And I'm going to send them on an explorer mission. And then these 17 are on a mission to hunt pirates and still doing that. We can send out another diplomat. Here's my issue. I wish I could change rivals, but I can't. That choice of Aragon is going to burn me. Oh no, I can do it. So I'm going to choose Tlemcen. And then instead of Burgundy, yeah, so we got a trade embargo against Aragon. We'll lift that. Oh, you just need to have diplomatic points to do it. Okay. So we're going to lift this trade embargo on Aragon. Revoke embargo. And then we're actually going to, once our diplomat returns, try to improve our relation with them, because they're the ones I think we want to get the alliance going with. Although they have us as a rival, so that's probably not going to happen. And did you see that? We actually have 4 cardinals supporting. France has 7. But so we're sitting at 179 papal influence. I could improve the tax modifier. Of course, we're going to do that. And then we can gain more mercantilism, which gives us more trade power. Or we could try to be Pope. Should we try? No, we shouldn't. This guy's at 50. Papal State is trying to hold on to it, which makes sense to me. So I think, yeah, we're going to do this. 1, 2. So we just increased it by 2 more %. Okay, so we're done with our Austria. I don't think we have an ability to, yep, but it's close. You can see how it's sort of close. Who can we do a royal marriage with is the next question, because that's really who we're going to want to do the alliance with. Castile, of course, is willing to join us. For royal marriage, there's nobody. Oh, we're in a bit of a pickle. So maybe Castile is, we're going to have to live and die with them, even though they're jerks. Yeah, we're going to have to live and die with them. Okay, so once this becomes a core, then we can make a state out of, or do our state bonus here. I'll show you real quick. So I can do it now actually. So I want to improve my production because these, of course, are going to be producing goods, and higher production will give me more trade power. Um, so the production is what I'm going to choose, and that should improve the power we have here. So we're at 25, and then we went up to 27. I mean, don't expect miracles. It was just +1 base for each of those three, but it is allowing us to move $1.08 down, and we don't even have a merchant assigned here. If we ever get one, we will assign it, and that means, oh yeah, I have a colonist available. So remember I was telling you about the islands, so we're just trying to hog up all the islands. So let's hog up this one now, and the longer you can prevent them from getting into the Middle East, or I'm sorry, the East and Asia, the better. But what they're going to do, though, is like, for example, you can see Spain is going bunkers down here, is they're going to just creep up and get into Asia through, you know, through the west coast of North America and South America. So I don't know what Castile's doing here. The treaty, they're violating the treaty like mad, but it doesn't seem to bother them much. All right, so let's get some exploring in. Our missionaries, I'll go ahead and do that one. This one doesn't ever, and let's pay off some loans. I have 5 of them at $174 each. Jeez Louise. All to Morocco because they wiped me out. F you, Morocco. That's all I have to say. All right, so national supply limit modifier. Plus 33%. All right, so we got our explorers going. We can repay another loan. So now we're down to 3. Our interest should be, yeah, look at that. It was at $2. It's dropping. It's down to 1. The war reparations is at $3. That state maintenance of 468 is pretty high, but I keep creating states and doing things. And when your states are overseas, they cost more. I forgot to tell you that. That's the reason why the trade charters are sort of nice. Aragon no longer considers Portugal as a rival. Portuguese noble rebels have risen up, dissatisfied with their monarch. I don't even know why they did that. So I could get troops there to help them. Like, for example, I think I can recruit troops while I'm in their region. So, for example, 1, 2, 3, 1, and of course that's all my money. And they dispelled it themselves. I don't even need to do it. So maybe I can cancel those and get my money back. I mean, look at them. They were badass. So we improved our relations with Aragon. We have our new king, which is not nearly as good as our old king was. That also meant we lost some of our settlers. So, like, could I do an alliance? The answer was sure, except their army strength is better than ours. We don't even have an army right now. We have common rivals. They're saying our navy's even weaker than theirs. The trust is the big issue. So I probably could pull it off, but I can definitely get a royal marriage going, and that part I do want to do. And I definitely can't do that with France. I was wondering if I could get a royal marriage with England. Minus 1,000 because they did government reforms. Ooh. Ooh. What did they do? They're a kingdom rank. Interesting. All right, so we got another. So as you can see, Brazil is getting pretty large, but so is the what Castile's doing here. But we're gonna just keep inching down and prevent Castile from taking as much as possible. If I had the money, I would just take them all and just deal with the extra cost. But I can't do that right now. We got so much loan to pay off. We basically owed $860 because of that. And then they're getting a 10% from us reparations. That's brutal. What Morocco did to us. That wasn't fair. Not nice to us at all. Okay, so yeah. Making 14. That's good. Repay loan. Yes. I guess we have to extend these other ones. So we can get a 5% tariff against Portuguese Brazil or 10. So now here's the thing. When you click on tax it, you do gain the tariff of 5%, but you got to be careful because they, I think it might actually increase their unhappiness on us. But I'm going to go ahead and tax them. Not worried about that or that. One thing I also wanted to do, so for game options, so right now, so all you're hearing is maybe some clicks. You know, that's really it. I mean, you're not missing anything sound-wise. I don't know why there's no music at all. Maybe it's because there is a music player in this game. They may actually be shut off. I didn't even realize. I totally forgot I could do that. Right here. Open music control panel. No music is playing at the moment, and we can open the music player, and you can take out, you know, certain ones. What's interesting is, for example, this one here. I know that's not a Sabaton one. So you can see there's some classical music going on, right? And it's even... There's some pretty cool ones here. You got Jade Ambitions, which this one I think plays when you're in Asia. You know, like some of these songs will only play when you're in certain areas. Diplomatic Awakening. That one plays a lot. And then the main theme is awesome. And yeah, this will play non-stop while we're this is like the best, maybe Civilization 4. I really love their theme song. But this one's the best one ever. I like classic hard rock, and so it's more my style anyways. But man, I could listen to this all day long. Get some Netflix going and turn on Medici and have this, you know, game playing at the same time, you can really get into the theme of this. That's what's awesome about this and part of the fun. Anyways, I don't want to violate any copyright, so I'm going to go ahead and pause the music. But now that I know we don't have to play the music, I can at least keep the rest of the sound going, so you can at least hear the game. And there's not much to hear. As you can see, every time the month passes, it does, you know, some coins to show that a new month started. I still don't want to hire the really expensive guys yet, because even though we're starting to make some good money, I have 0 troops. So my maintenance is 0 right now because I have 0 troops, but we're extremely vulnerable to be taken over. So I need to build troops, but I also got to pay off this loan, because we lost that war. That's really what happens. I mean, you lose everything like we did. Colonial La Plata. So did he really give that to them? Yes, he did. So the Pope gave this to Spain. So even though Brazil belongs to us, that belongs to him, which I think it's starting to make more sense. So basically, Argentina, I guess, is considered to be a different region, which is why they went there. Not real happy about that. We'd be making good money if we weren't so far in debt. And I think our trade power is still very excellent, even though you can see $5 is being funneled away from us. But we're bringing in 17 plus 8. I mean, we're actually starting to become a decent trade node. And the fact that they're funneling 5, you can see Sienna's getting 5 themselves. And their power is quite low. So the fact that they're funneling away so much is really impressive. And between myself and Castile, we're definitely controlling it all. France is trying, and you can see everything's being shifted from, like, Aragon's shifting some, France is shifting some, Morocco's trying to shift it the other way. They're trying to go back upstream, back towards them. 5.9 of the power, not the actual money. So they're not even taking money, they're just taking their power and shifting it up and so forth. So you can see Sienna's only taking 18 cents. The real culprit is France and Aragon. They're taking a lot away. So, okay. And I don't know if the audio is too high for you guys, but I'm going to move this down just a little bit in case it is. What I hear versus what you guys hear on the video is very different. And so for me, it sounds totally fine, and I can hear my own voice and stuff, but until I replay a video, I don't know what it does to you guys. So here we go. We got another idea, and we now can build plantations as well. So lots of coolness going on here. Get another free slot, and I am definitely taking trade ideas because that's how we're making our money, right? We want colonists and trade. So I'm just going to take the prestige. And let's explore some more. That's my dog. Let's pay back a loan. Look, we're down to one more. Almost done, folks. Our interest drops to 50 cents, which is good. Very good. Getting some nice money going here. Okay, a couple things happening. We got this whole southern area to ourselves, but I'm going to just keep taking it. And we put it, so what we need to do is we need to start investing in this charter because we got some really good going on here. And if we tried to make it a state, because we're controlling all these regions, like if we make these states, then of course we're gaining tax revenue, and we'd have to send, we'd have to worry about religion and culture. But we may actually still control all the power because there's nobody else here. I mean, we're at 80 power right now. And what's funny is some of these that are sending it forward, all they're doing is they're helping us sending it to the same direction we're sending it. Sungai's the only one trying to counter us, and they're going nowhere. And nobody's collecting from this region. So that's why 100% of this is moving forward. And royal marriage, I'll take it. That's $2. I'm not interested right now. Let's do our explorer here. I haven't even been paying attention to what they've discovered, but you can see most of the world is getting revealed. And if we wanted to start hopscotching, we can go right up into the west coast of America and claim that for ourselves. And you can see Spain has taken all of Florida. And I don't think anybody has taken North America yet, which is crazy. France is definitely encroaching. Antilles is, of course, a French colony. English Columbia, you can see they formed a colony. Here's Holland. So the Caribbean area is starting to get encroached a bit. Scotland's got a bunch. And our Portugal is shaping up really nicely. And then here you can see Castile. They're actually taking a lot of Africa there, which is threatening our power here. Although we have good power. Why don't we have another merchant, though? We never got the merchant. Portuguese Indonesia. Yep, I'm going to increase their power too. And then if we go into our economy, we got 0.93. I'm going to go ahead and lower that back to 0. Oh, we got an idea. Global trade power plus 20%. Boom. That was a big boost. That's going to put us up even higher here. Move just to 249. 100 diplomatic power? Jesus. I guess France is going to not like us. I don't even know who Arakan is. All right, and then we got enough money. We can finally pay off our loan. Finally, debt-free. And we're cranking in 18 bucks, 20 bucks a month. It's going to be 18 because our advisor was costing us something. Trade efficiency is always good. I'll take it. Okay, so we're cranking in about 18 bucks a month. We still need to form an army, and I want to get this trade charter stuff going. Because we formed them, and we're not doing anything to boost them. So let's do the trade charter stuff first. Oh, and then as far as trade companies go, this one, we're pushing out $1.52. You can see Portuguese Brazil is taking some of it, which I'm okay with. They're actually doing all the production. Then Castile's not really pushing out much. However, if you go further down where Castile is, they're pushing down to us. So we're benefiting from Castile pushing down, and then we're pushing down just because we have natural power in the area, and so is Portuguese Brazil. I think they actually have a merchant here. So, so all of us, even though Castile has all the power, they can't do anything with it. They're going to push it the same direction that we want it to go, which is in our region. So that's the thing that's, when you have some of these areas that are out west, where they push the trade matters. So like if we start settling California, I'm going to push the trade into the Caribbean. Well, that doesn't do me any good because I have no power there, right? Or I'm going to push the trade out west, and you can see it goes, along here, and then it ends up in China. So that doesn't do me any good. So when you're trying to choose where you're going to settle, settling in California, if you don't have a presence in the Caribbean, makes no sense. Now, Argentina made sense for us. If we would have been able to take Argentina down here, that makes total sense because that feeds into our area that we already value. The Amazon here also helps because we could feed this way. But what we really need to do is we need to focus on East Africa or any of these areas. So like here would feed down, but this one here for India is super awesome. It goes to the Cape of Good Hope. And then of course, Indonesia is the big one for us. And we really need to get some settlements going there ASAP. So all right, 1 second. I need to respond to a text, and I'm going to just pause real quick. Okay, that should have pause. Oh, the music started up again. So weird. Okay. We have explorers exploring. Garrison size plus 25%. And that bumped our trade efficiency by another 10%. So we got all of our ideas exposed. See this? So that's fantastic. Local unrest -3. So we got a new heir who stinks, and it's another Duarte. Local settler +10. The wife is strong. Okay, let's pause. Diego Garcia settled. Inquisitor died. That's okay. So we got a lot of these islands settled, right? So we're preventing them from the hopscotch. This one is still a problem. So they can try to take this one here. I really want to start getting Indonesia. So even if they do hopscotch that island, what are they going to do with it, right? So, you got this little Nicobar Island up here, but I want to get anything that's in this trade region. So you can see this brown here, they all go to this trade box, which I'm already in. Okay, there's another trade box over here, which I'm not in, but it looks like the Ottomans are in here somehow. I don't know how. So you got to be mindful. So like if we colonize these areas, I'm going into this, which I don't have the trade power, or this one, which I'm starting to. So, we got to choose, right? We could try to meddle with both, right? We're going to get some extra merchants soon. So let's see what's available. So obviously, if we take these areas, we have this Brunei that's next to us. We got to worry about them. Pontianak here is actually a place. Well, actually, that's all one place. We could take these areas here, but again, now we're next to Sayak, and then of course Malacca has said that they don't like us, right? And this is a land bridge between us and Malacca. What I'm trying to say is I would need some serious. Well, no, these are trade charters. So look at this, Turkish Indonesia Company. So Turkey is here. The Ottomans are here somehow with a trade company. Well, let's get cracking. Let's take what we can. So I'm going to send somebody there. Get some exploration going. Get our advisors replaced. Tax modifier is always good. We finally have some money, but we're trying to build up for our charters. We're finally getting our corruption to go down. Ay, ay, ay. We can afford trade company investments. And this is actually where I want to build a trade investment first, is here. Because all of our money funnels to here, and then it funnels out. And if I remember correctly, they're not taking that much money away from us, but they are taking, like these guys are taking money for themselves. Let's try it, right? So we have a trade company here. What can we do? Well, we can improve the local tax modifier, which makes no sense to me why that's ever good. But the local development cost of minus 7.5% is good, because that means you can build, marketplaces, stuff like that. Local production efficiency is super good. Manpower makes no sense. And then if I scroll up, this is trade power +2. I don't know, a flat +2 is not that great. So let's do the trade power one and just see what it does. It does increase local production efficiency, which is good. And in doing so, our trade power should go up. Oh my gosh, that went up by way more than 2. That went from 247 to 297. That went up by 50. So that 2 must mean for every province or something. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. I don't know. I don't know what just happened there, but we went up by a bonkers amount. And then for marketplaces, remember we can build marketplaces which increase power as well. Although it's not showing much benefit there. Here we could get some big power. Our power is really good here. We don't need to worry about that so much. These areas would be beneficial. So I'm going to go ahead and build one there. All right, so I think we need to, oh gosh, we got another gem. That's awesome. So we got lots of gems being produced here. So that is going to translate into big bucks for us. And what we may want to do, because I think, which one's produced? That one's producing gems. And so is that one. So, for example, the gems are super valuable, right? So why not increase our base production, right? Because we want the gems to go up. Not worried about the culture so much. And if we increase this again, we just got our trade value to go up by quite a bit. And it's only a 2-bump thing. But if there's an area that you want to improve, it's going to be something that has $5 goods. I mean, that's amazing. And we may want to consider, like, if we didn't have a trade charter here, because we control the whole region ourselves, we could remove the trade charter and generate tax revenue. We still control all the power in the node, so the purpose of the trade charter is not doing us anything. And what this would do is this would actually form a colony for us, and then the colony would be able to fight wars and do things and expand. It is worth doing or considering, and in fact, I think I will. So if I convert this to a state, I believe it'll remove the trade charter. So it'll cost us 66 cents in maintenance, increase our income by $1.12. And yes, we would have to core everything. And I think I removed my cores to create this, didn't I? Or no, that was up in West Africa. I apologize. So I didn't waste anything here. And so our production income is $7. That went up. Trade is at 22. So you can see how our trade is doing great. Send that out. I'm going to gain a stability because we were only at 2 stability. Now, let's go back to South Africa and finish that discussion. So for this, I just created a state, and if I'm correct, it's no longer, it's no longer the trade charter, right? And if you click on the node, we don't even have a trade company anymore. So that's fine. And I think you're going to find that the same outcome's happening. All the money is still transferring down. So it's basically just as good as it always was, and now we're getting tax revenue and other stuff. But it does mean, though, we need to concern ourselves about this. So I'm going to get that going. And that going. The other thing that we need to do is come here, and we can do one of these, right? So we can gain a base tax in every province, which reduces their construction costs. So every time I build a building, it also makes our missionary strength go up. Or this, which will help us to have cheaper culture conversion, which we may have to do. What is the culture? Yeah, the culture is different. Or manpower. This gets rid of all slavery too. I don't think we have any slaves, but I'm going to go ahead and do it. And I didn't think we had any slaves this far down. It's the Western Africa that has the slaves. And yeah, so now we got the gems. We have everything working in our favor. And on top of that, get some marketplace going, which will increase our trade power. We want a workshop right here. Because a workshop in Zosa, see the gems there? Current price is 5. Workshop will increase our production there. So that'll help us to make more money from production. And Yeah, the taxes thing doesn't do anything for us, but so we just got another, and everything we're doing here, you can see Brazil's just, the colony takes all of it. So I'm going to just keep taking more. And you can see that the colonists, they did this themselves. Look, they're sending their own colonists right here. So Portugal was able to do this. So they're going to start spreading on their own. And the fact that we're allowing them to be so large through our own activity, it's awesome. So there you go. Brazilian dominance, global tariffs plus 25. That's fantastic. And then we have this one automatically finished. Triangle trade. Ivory Coast, Brazil, and Sevilla. And we're going to get goods produced plus 10%. Take that. And we gain 2 mercantilism. And let's see. Rio de Janeiro, at least 1 center of trade level 2. All provinces in the area owned by Portugal. Rio de Janeiro, Sao Paulo, Minas Gerais. I don't know where Minas Gerais is. So these regions here need to all be ours, and that's possible because they're already starting to colonize in. So we could do that. That'll help us finish another mission. And I think they said this one needs to have a level 2 harbor, which we would need 160 bucks for, and we have. So to upgrade to a level 2 harbor, local development cost goes down, trade power goes up, institution spread. I'm willing to do that for them. So by doing that, that usually makes them happy. So we just did something for them, and yeah, you can see they don't even have a desire for liberty. Oh no, here it is. So they have a 24%. And you can see from 75 development. So the more development they have, actually the higher their liberty. So when you're developing them, from that perspective, it hurts you. Their relative power is giving them 18% because they have troops and we don't. So we should probably start building up some military so their liberty desire doesn't go up, because right now they have more troops than us, and that's giving them 18%. That's not good. And then see, the tariffs is at 15%. So if we get enough, oh, we lost a merchant because we got rid of that trade charter in South. So let's see, where can we put merchants? We could put one there. Oh, we already have one there. Sorry. This is the one that we lost. We can tell them to transfer, but everything's already transferring, so I'm going to put him somewhere else. So like we're transferring $1.36 here. Do I want him to go there? Sure. Now it's $1.62. The other place I was contemplating is really I probably need to put one here to transfer. Because right now we don't have a presence. Even though the Ottomans seem to. Trade steering plus 10%. Global tariffs plus 25. Yep, we're not doing that. We're going to build some troops. That's going to cost us a fortune. $176. we're getting almost 16 bucks a round. We're going to pay off the loan, and then we're going to get the troops going. Which is annoying, because that event took like 200 of our bucks. Now also, one of these can be upgraded. Like, this one costs 800, but I think it's here. Yeah, so for 160 bucks, we can reduce our development costs, our trade power goes up, and that's here locally. Obviously, we have a lot of trade power, but we get even more. Alright, so take the tax base. We get a +8. Should be able to pay back that loan. So that'll reduce the interest, so we should be getting over 16 bucks now. Actually, close to 20 bucks. So you see how much, look at how much we're making a profit. That trade, we were just at $12 not so long ago, and now we're at 21. So, yeah, it's awesome and amazing, and I think we're on the right track, right? So we're starting to finally get the economy going, and then we're going to build an army, and of course that's going to take up some of this monthly income of $20. But you know, we're skirting with death right now, and that's probably not the smartest thing, but you sort of have to. In order to make this work. So, anyways, let's. So we just did another conversion. And go back. So lots to do here. I'm already at 100 bucks, but let's stop fooling around and get some regiment recruiting going. Okay, so I recommend. I sometimes like to build the cannons first, but let's do the infantry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think I just tried to build 10. We'll find out soon enough. And then the thing, as they're being built, and they're going to be built serially here because I chose this option. What you're going to see is that, oh, we don't have to move over. We just have to go here. So they have a 24% desire because of 18.9% relative power. See, look, it just dropped to 7.5% as soon as the first troop was made. Did you see that? So as soon as that first troop was made, it dropped. So we were able to get their liberty desire to drop a lot. So that's good. Malacca's asking us for access. I'm going to say yes. I'm going to go ahead and gain the 3 mercantilism is worth it. Castile, of course, is sucking us into a war with Aragon and France and Tuscany. Oh. I'm going to decline. I can't do that war. I'm just starting to build my troops, and then France and Aragon is going to crush them. So yeah, I got all of these see, our explorer is done and there's nowhere left to go. I think we pretty much have the whole world discovered, don't we? Look at that. There's no more need for an explorer anymore. We got everything discovered. Very cool, isn't it? So we can try to get Hawaii and some of those in place. In fact, what trade node are they even using? So Hawaii. Why am I not? Oh. So this trade node. Hawaii's got this yellow here. See that? So this yellow. What trade node is that a part of? Well, what about Wake Island? We have that one, don't we? It belongs to the Philippines trade node, which is this one right here. But see, it's purple. See, Wake Island was purple. This is yellow, so what trade node is yellow? Oh, it belongs to the California trade node. So you got to be careful. So if you take Hawaii, now you're dealing with that. But you could maybe put a trade charter there, right? I mean, that's the whole idea is you can... I think those trade charters do allow you to do a bunch of stuff that you couldn't do before. So we're going to do that. We're going to assign our crappy general. And yeah, so it's developing in serial. So our general is going to get all of these infantry. But while we're at it, we're going to get 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. So we need at least 3 cavalry. They're still good. I'm actually going to do 4, and I'm going to do 5 cannons. My son Jason would tell me to do all 8, so we will. He likes his cannons. And they're very expensive, but they are good, especially as the tech levels start to go up. And you can see here, so looks like 9 infantry, so we want to get this up to at least 15. Yeah, our king is greedy. Not only is he crappy a king, but he's a greedy one too. Okay, so we're going to finish off the military one. We're probably far behind on our military tech because we spent time going up this. But we're going to get a land force limit modifier plus 50%, which is good. And the attrition of minus 10% is also good. Corruption is making it more expensive. And boom. We got a couple things going on. First one is we're Catholic, we could convert. So I forgot to talk about this. We can become reformed, which we would lose 100 prestige. We lose a lot of our declarations. We gain money. And of course, we would have to convert all of our provinces again. Protestant, we don't get anything. Like this one, you get 520 ducats. But you only want to do that if, so for example, right now we're pure Catholic. This is reformed. So you can see this one's reformed here. And France is getting taken over by Protestant there. And then here in Italy, you got some Protestantism going on. So the reformed is just in sparse places right now. So we don't want to do that. The next thing is we want to do this. So we finished the military one. And you can see now that if we finish trade, we're going to be able to take a goods produce plus 20%. It's going to be a diplomatic policy, of course. This one is, so we're going to get both of these when we finish trade. So trade is going to create both of these. And what's making me laugh is neither of them are administrative policies. So I need to figure out how to get administrative policies because we don't need more here. Now this one is because we have expansion in quantity and of course exploration in quantity. So manpower modifier plus 10%, always good. The maneuver, this is always good. This one gives us a settler increase. So I'm actually going to take that one because that's what we're all about, right? Is settler increases. Now we can take the other one, and you're going to see here that there's we get a free one, but after this we have to pay every month, so we're not going to gain as much here. Yeah, so if we take this one, it's going to cost 1 power each month, and so and it has to be active for at least 10 years. So I don't know if I want to do that per se, because it's not that important for me. But I will take the one that gives us the colonies. That one is awesome, and we will directly benefit from that. So we still have 108 left. I would like to get investments in my charters going. And even with our military, we're down to 13. So we just consumed $7. Actually, you can see the maintenance is $9.87 for the army. So we're making good money finally. I'll take the debt. They eventually clean it up. They're contributing to that ocean of plastic that's collecting in the Pacific Ocean. Okay, so we got this going, and this is another one of those states. See, we want to take these provinces here, and so that's 2 more, right, that we need to take. So I'm going to go ahead and do that one. And I can convert it to a state, so I will. That'll take it away from the trade company. And we got a cord. 17 at 44 cents. That's a deal. England lost its claim to greatness. So we're getting a lot of money off of trade right now. And right there. So let's go up. And I thought we were in a trade company. Ooh. So we have this stuff here, which increases our power. Add all eligible provinces. What provinces did I not add? I'm afraid to do it, but maybe I should. See, if I had the whole state, I would click on that option to get rid of slavery here. But, here we go. That's in the trade company. So let's look real quick here. That one's not. Okay, that's the issue. So let's add them to the trade company. And boom, that should be everything now. And how do I... Oh, it's just look at the state. Here we go. Okay, so we built the harbor last time. We can do another one that increases trade power by 4. I'm going to do that because... do you remember last time the trade power went up big time? Like we went up like 50. So let's see what this does for us. So we're at 315. Yeah, that went up 50 more. So that was way higher than just 2. Well, they are doubled because it's a and it says multiplied by dollars 1.69. So what? Let's say this was so 4, 8, 12, 16, 22, 24, 26. That would get us closer to the 50, but not. It's still more than 2. Oh, here we go. There's one down here. So yeah, maybe we are getting closer to 50 that way. But there you go. We just got ourselves a lot of trade power. But what I'm frustrated about is... Well, there we go. We finally got the extra merchant. So where do we want to assign our merchant now? We have one here. You can see that with the little symbol. We don't have one here, but we don't need one. This one's doing his job. That one's doing his job. I'm going to actually select this one and have him transfer. And let's see if he does anything. We don't have any territories here, but I want to see if he does anything. 8 cents. But this will only go up as we start to take territories here. Morocco's doing something. God only knows what. I want to keep helping the merchants. So we just did another conversion. And we can do an idea. There we go. Boom. We just got another merchant. So one place we haven't put a merchant yet, I think, is over here by Brazil, right? Nope, we have one there. We can add it back to Safi here, because you can see that they're starting to do some decent money, and it'll hurt them. So I'm going to go in and transfer power. Didn't transfer that much. It just went up to $1.19, so that wasn't that great. We could try to do like the Argentina ones or the Rio de Plata or Amazonas. Where else should we go? This one's an interesting one. It's inland, and it doesn't go... Or we could try to get into the India one. The Australia one would be good too. I don't think anybody's colonized this yet, but it would be nice if we did, because we'd have full control over it. There's a lot of interesting choices. This Safi one, I'm going to probably move him later, but we'll leave him there for now, because nowhere else is going to get us anything. Okay, so we're self-sustaining, and you can see here, it looks like Aragon's just taken over the crap out of all this. So they're in trouble down there. Okay, so we can try to help finish that mission by taking these spots, but I think Brazil is in great shape. Leave it be. They're going to expand on their own. We could try to get into Amazon here and mess with... you could see here that Britain has Carib. That might be a British colony. And Scottish Columbia. But I'm not worried about those. I think we want to abandon that. I can continue my West Africa thing and take these two provinces. Or what I'm thinking is we desperately need to get this going. And I had just mentioned Australia. That might be worth doing. Or start getting the Indonesian territories going. So I'm going to go ahead and do exactly that. I have this one building, and I'm going to just go right next to him. And we're going to need troops to defend some of this stuff. But we're making money now. Diplomatic, military, manpower, or prestige. I think we need diplomatic right now. Grant privileges or don't. They gave us more. Okay, so we're getting some friendly vibe from Aragon. So let's head home. And let's see if we can get... I don't think we can get an alliance going because they're at war right now. Let's see, look at that. Trust minus 1,000. Jesus. So let's just keep improving. they're probably the best one to ally with, because then they can help us take territory from Castile. So we can make Wake Island a state if we wanted. I think I'm going to go ahead and convert the culture. What do we got here? Diego Garcia. I don't want to make them a state. But those are the only two. Okay. As far as culture goes, the best place to go is right here. And you can see these are all the places where we can start converting the culture. And if it's a place that you have a charter, you don't need to do it. But I'm going to do it as many places as I can. And of course it's using diplomacy. And you can see here we got this guy converted. So I want to, on this spot, we probably need to do some missionary work, but I want to get one. We're going to get ourselves a pretty decent army there. And we're going to also need some ships, because we need to be able to transport them. But basically, we need to have a presence here, because if I'm going to have some stuff going on next to this Malacca here is not very friendly to us. I mean, we could try to make them friendly. I mean, we have the look, they're at minus 154. They have claims on our stuff, but we could try. Sure, let's try to improve it. I don't know what good it's going to do, but and then this is where they would benefit from a conquistador, because he probably will do well against them. And you can see it's all Muslim out here. And then $6 for 92 months. Oof. The other thing we can do is we can add it to the trade company. So then it doesn't matter what their religion is. And if we go back to the trade good, or trade node, you can see we're at $1.85 we're pushing out now. And it's only going to get better and better. So one of the things we can do is we want to build a marketplace. Well, we already did. So we want to build one here to increase their power. And we could do some things here to, like, for example, this local trade power +2. Let's do the same thing here. And let's see what that does to our money. We're pushing out $1.98. Look at that, 251. Boom. It's all looking good, folks. Just making more monies. And you saw early in the game, we suffered a lot. But now we're starting to... We're getting almost 30 now in trade money. And if you were really efficient or good at this game, you possibly could have done it quicker than I did, right? So maybe I spent way too much time dilly-dallying about this or dilly-dallying about that, but it's looking really good. And as far as the homeland goes, I still want to make sure that the homeland has the most power, because that's how we get all of our money back. So I'm going to build some churches. And I'll be able to afford this last one pretty quick because we're making really great money. We lost an advisor. Okay. So, yeah, I want to get that last church in. And you might be thinking, okay, Jeff, your tax revenue is way lower than your trade revenue. So why are you focusing on that? Well, largely because if we ever go to war and they block off the trade routes, it's hard to do, but you don't want all of your income to be relying on one thing. Well, you do, but you don't. So that's the part about this that's goofy. And where on earth did my colonist go? So I have a colonist that's free. So we got this one, yes, and that one. Okay, so I forgot to get another colony going. All right, so I got 1, 2, 3 going here. And then, of course, I have more that I can put over here. And then I can even go there. It doesn't matter where you go. They all produce goods. They all have things that value to them. In our case, we get to convert the natives. So we'd have a higher population if we get some of these. And, of course, that higher population, see, look, you can see the base tax production. That changes, too. Like, this is a 111. It's a crappy one, whereas that's a really good one, 553. So I think we want some of these nicer developed areas. And then, of course, we want to start Australia before they do. Although I think we have some time. We don't want to dilly-dally too much. And then the nice thing about Australia is we're going to get that trade node all to ourselves. But let's try to continue to conquer this trade node, I think. And this is a really nicely developed one. So I'm going to go ahead and send one there. And we got another one of these. Institution spread. This might be good. War score. I'll take that one. That's right. And we have some culture we need to do. So let's so everything should be cored. Then culture-wise, now culture improves tax revenue more than anything. It also reduces unrest and autonomy. The autonomy, of course, being something that could be an issue, and autonomy affects trade power and tax modifier. So it does help with your trade power to have the culture be yours. So the fact that this is a trading charter, you could still help them out by converting the culture, but it's not, the end of the world or going to make that much of a difference. But if you want to just get that little bit of macro management in place, or micromanagement, to basically min-max, that's the word I'm looking for. If you want to min-max it, that's how you get it to be as efficient as possible. All right, I don't care about losing. I'll just take the legitimacy. So we no longer can claim Gibraltar. Fine. Okay, so now I want to get this power going. Everything we can do for our trade power is going to make our trade income that much better. Because trade income, of course, is our largest source of income. So we're going to go ahead and get as much of that going as we can. And you have to be careful. Like, I'm relying on this menu to develop, but like Coimbra, for example, could not possibly, like, if this available slot wasn't there, it'll make it look like it's blue, and it'll make it look like you already have. So if you don't have the available slots, like here, I have the church, I have the marketplace, I'm not going to be able to build the production unless I improve the development there. And so that's a bit of a pickle thing. So Bera is pretty poor, but I'm going to go ahead and improve the military a bit, and we need to get to level 20. We're at 16. So 17, 18, And I'm spending a lot of diplomatic power these days. And we'll go ahead and do this one. And boom, I just unlocked, extra slots, right? And then I need to get to level 30 to unlock the next one. But, yeah, we don't want to do that. So here you can see what the nobility does for that region and what their influence is, etc. Possible number of buildings, construction cost, land force. All right, so we're going to get a little bit more manpower because of what I just did, but because their development wasn't up high enough, that production interface would not have told us that we need to build a church there or something. It would have just told us that it's full or that it's already built because it would have had the blue. And that's a little misleading is all I'm trying to say. And then I wanted to look at this. I had all these thoughts going through my head at the same time. So you can see Portuguese Indonesia, we still need to do a lot to get a merchant from that. Their liberty desire is way low because their power relative to us is now way low. The 99 development, so they're developing like mad. So they're getting points there. We could always reduce tariffs if we need to, but the liberty desire is really low. We're in great shape. And they may turn rebellious if their desire ever goes over 50%. They do love us, and in fact, we have a free diplomat, so let's improve our relation with them. There's no reason not to do that. And let's see, Papal State's opinion goes down, or we get 23, and the nobility loses 10 loyalty, or the clergy loses 10 loyalty. Ugh. I guess we're going to take the 23. It's going to be in Coimbra. And we won. It was actually right where we were standing. When you're standing in the spot that the revolution has, you catch them at super low morale and you can crush them. If you're standing next to it, what you want to do is you want to get there as fast as you can, because if they can take the territory, then you get like this 10-year penalty. So that was very well done on our part, actually. It was total luck. But still, it worked out in our favor. Okay, so this guy is now fully converted. It's not a super high thing. This one is the one with the gems. See how we only have one production? So if I improve it a little bit, we're going to improve the power, and we're just going to make that much more money. I mean, it's just crazy what this is doing for us. And you can see here we're at 28. So we're still hovering around the 28 range. Our army maintenance is 17. But that's what you got to do. And that's why that 44,000 stack that France had, their maintenance has to be $30. I mean, it's crazy. Okay, gaining a tax base is always good. I can afford it. Let's do it. Let them take the devastation. All right, so we improved our relations as much as we could. Here we go, military administration. Production efficiency, plus 20%. That's huge. And you're going to start seeing, as the later game comes on, that production number, which is now $9, that'll start to move up. I mean, just by moving up 20%, it just went up to $10. Gain a tax base, we'll take that. We change culture in a couple places. All right, so here, this is part of our state, I believe, right? No, it's not. But this one is a big trade node thing. Which trade node is it a part of? It's part of this one up here, which we do have an influence on. So we probably do want to take and put a settler there. I want to get a settler here, but you can see it's incognita, and so that's an issue, right? So I can't make this a core because we just don't have enough. So what I want to do is I'm going to let's make just one troop. And then in the meantime, we're going to send the settler there to help out with the other region. And eventually we want to get this going as soon as possible. Not having cores is bad. So we're making Chinaware somewhere. I don't remember where. It's got to be over here. So was it this one? Chinaware, $3. Yeah, that's pretty good. And how much are we? We're getting 110 a year. That's also good. A lot of cultures going our way. And lose 10 loyalty. Yeah. I want to look at this corruption thing. Corruption is changing by 0.03. So if I'm paying $1.22 a month, you can get it to go down 11 cents. I'm going to go ahead and do that. The corruption is pretty high because of that thing that we did. It really did screw us. We lost our general. I'm going to go ahead and do that. I can make a market. I don't think I can do that yet. So you can see Maritus. Where's Maritus? $0.19 in Il Bourbon. Bourbon. We may want to get this production stuff going here. So let's do that. Let's get production houses going. And yes, I wasn't, like, this one's clearly worth more money than some of these other ones I picked. So I probably should have prioritized that. My apologies. I was just trying to fill in the whole region. And this 10-cent one's not as efficient as the other ones, but it's going to help me with my my trade power. Everything's about trade power for us. So see, this one's yellow. Oh, that's actually a nice feature. They must have changed it. This is saying we can't build anything extra there. So you can click on it and take a quick peek, and you can see here we got the marketplace and the church, but we need to get to level 10. So I can go ahead and do that, and boom, I'm at level 10. And then we can build a workshop once we can afford it. And my production income should go up a bit from all those workshops, but so will the trade. So let them discover 9 provinces for 10 prestige. Decline. And boom. Stability dropped because somebody died and we got an even worse king in. Oh, our heir is awesome. Gain 0.5 corruption. Okay, so when you get a new heir, obviously the stability drop sucks, but we need royal marriages. We're going to do Aragon, which is great, because we might even be able to get an alliance with them. And let's see if we can. No. Castile is still in the mix. Scotland's actually in the mix now. And you may want to do that, because England looks like they're sucking wind this game. Look at that. Ireland's almost united. But let's see what is Aragon's issue with us? It's still trust at minus 36. Their army strength is better than ours, and our navy strength is better, but I'm not too keen on trying to prove that we're better there. So this one is finished. We're going to add him to the charter, and then we're going to do nothing because that costs 81. So it's boom. So we got we'll build a workshop there. So what I read about charters, because I confess I didn't know enough about them. They were talking about you could buy provinces. So like the charter could, try to buy this province right here, Palembang, for example. I don't know how that works because we don't own it. We can't core it. I don't see any option here to buy it with the charter. River flows, you know, maybe we can buy it through, so relation, dynastic, covert, economy action. Charter company. Here you go. Look right here. If you had 628 bucks, ask the company to sell a country to sell a province that would become a trade company. Oh my gosh. I did not know about that. So there you go. That's what everybody was not liking about it, is you can just come in with money and buy all the territories up. That's amazing. Okay, well, let's keep going with the colonists here. Oh, and looky here, we got another merchant somehow. So where are we going to put them? Where aren't we? We have one there, we have one there. I think we want to do the Australia one, even though there's no money in Australia at the moment. Where do we want to put them? Still don't need them here. And we'll put them back on Safi again. And then when we need them, we'll pull them out. So 27 bucks. We need 600 to buy a province. But that means this guy can buy a province too. So let's, like, for example, if I want Denakira because we want to make a state and get rid of our slavery, I can now right-click on this. And I would need 628 for that one as well. They own no coastal provinces with their colonial range. That can be assigned. They're not their capital. We're already part of a trade company. So this one, they may not have anything to sell us anyways. It's still a very interesting. So we can go to this one, and they would sell. Well, they're at war. Yeah, we're up to 30 in trade now. Well, let's do, I know I was saving up money, but let's, there was something else I wanted to try with the trade company. So if we go to this trade company, we've been, doing this, which definitely helped with the trade power. But I wanted to, well, that one was a good one. Is that the one I wanted to do? This lets us get more local goods produced and production efficiency. Tax modifier, manpower. So what's interesting is if you make one province a trade charter, you can increase the tax modifier for all the other provinces in the area. So one of my thoughts is, let's say I controlled this whole state. See how this state is, we have 4 provinces. If I could ever get this Denkara to join us, right? I would then maybe convert them to a state, and that would be Portugal. And then I would leave everything else as a trade charter because they can't make a state anyways, right? And so then by clicking on this, it says local tax modifier plus 25%. That would mean that every one of these provinces in this state would then get plus 25%. So the trade charter actually looks like it works really well if you mix them. So that's an interesting concept as well. Obviously, if you don't mix them, then this is clearly the superior choice, as are these. And this one is just about naval force limit. Not interested. Ship costs. Trade steering, that's a pretty good one. You need $1,000 though. Oof. Okay, so maybe I don't want to do anything there. Let's go over here and see if we can manipulate these guys. Local trade power +2. And then if we go to this, we're up to $3.79. And our power is moving up. We're up to 65. Obviously, Malacca's the king here. And the Ottomans aren't quite as good as us, but... Alright, so here we go. Trade range plus 25%. Not super helpful because I think we can go anywhere we want at the moment. But the rest of them are good. Alright, so we just became self-sustaining. Add them to the company. Make a marketplace. And let's keep going. So maybe take some more territory here. And then I want to start producing some ships. I need 50. Oh, I should probably build my flagship. That was actually one of our missions, wasn't it? Yeah, there's a lot of stuff we need to do now. Oy, oy, oy. I'm okay with institution spread being slow. Alright, so I'm going to build a Carrack here, because you do need a powerful ship to protect your transports. And I'm going to build some brigs. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, just 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now you can have admirals just as much as you can have generals. Clearly I don't do that very often because I'm always too busy dealing with land wars, and I don't really have a solid navy I'm trying to do naval battles with. Alright, so we just took this, and as you know, this is a different region, but this gave us +5 trade power, which is nice because now, you know, this region up here we're going to be able to siphon some more out of. I don't consider that to be something we're ever going to become a superpower in, but it was a good thing to do. And then I totally forgot about this guy. And make him a conquistador, and watch this. So with the conquistador, we're going to move into that area. And boom. We just discovered this area, and now we can send a colonist there and finish out our state. This one is super expensive, but right now I can afford it, so I'm going to do it. Oh, I didn't pay attention to how many months it was going to take. 1601, so that's going to be 2 years. Holy buckets. And then these are just so powerful. I would need to be able to have more missionary strength there. And I don't, of course. France just hit their golden era, so the strong gets stronger. France is a powerhouse in almost every game. The only thing you can do to France to really hurt them is prevent them from colonizing, which is not that hard to do. France is usually very late to the game with colonizing. This game, they actually were better. So this is an interesting dilemma. Do we take the tax modifier or do we take the missionary strength? I am going to take the missionary strength. And that'll make it quicker for them to finish what they're doing. All right, and then the other thing is now we have, so our power is nestled at 75. I keep saying I want to save my money. I keep saying I want to do this and do that, but I keep realizing there's so much I want to do. I'm going to increase the trade power to 4. And in doing so, this 75, we should actually pass Nyack there. And we're very close. 94. That we just got a ton of money because of Chinaware. Okay, innovativeness is sort of like your ability to ignore the research penalties, so like you can get to the next level of tech. I don't care about that. Press or let's get our flagship going. We'll do it here in Lisboa. Now we could, if we wanted to, build a shipyard, so the shipbuilding time would be reduced. That's really good when you need to crank out ships. We haven't paid too much about that or worried about it too much. It's too hard. But we are going to build a flagship. Now, here's what's interesting. So we'll build a heavy ship as the flagship. It's called the Santissimo Sacramento. Instead, we're going to call it Stay Awesome. How about that? All right. It costs an extra maintenance, so we have to pay maintenance on this ship. But we can increase his cannons by 50%, which of course makes him more powerful in battle. Morale up by 5, but you see how it's going to add to the maintenance cost. Right now it has 50 cannons. It's going to cost 44 cents. We can only add 3 things. The engagement width is, it's so hard for me to know how helpful that is, but it's just like combat width for land. I think it's more valuable when you have large numbers of ships in the battle. It's going to allow you to have more ships at a time attacking, which, if this is your flagship, you're going to probably have it in your largest navy. And then this is for if you're doing a blockade. So, for example, when I was doing a blockade against Morocco down here, it would let me have +1 to my siege. Movement speed, durability, of course, which makes it harder to kill. And then exploration, because you can actually have a flagship be your exploration ship. And I probably should have selected that. I probably should have built one a long time ago. Naval barrage, I never use. But naval barrages, of course, are for when they're helping out with your with the naval invasion. This you would put in a light ship because you're basically making it a trade power ship. And maybe that's what we should do. Make it a trade power ship. Because then we're getting +2. So what if I did that? So you can see here the trade power is 2.5. Cannons, of course, are a lot lower. And then, oh, there's so many options here. Movement speed on and off, that's for transporting. So you could even monthly chance of admiral skill, gaining a skill. Fleet privateering efficiency, that's if you want to be a privateer. Naval tradition from battles. All right, so I'm gonna I'm not doing anything yet, but I do need to pause real quick, and I'll just pause the video so it should look like nothing for you. But I always announce it because sometimes I screw this up. All right, I'm back, and what's crazy is I realize I'm at an hour and 51, so I'm just going to go ahead and stop the video, and then we'll just start another one when I can resume this.